Hey guys, it's Maya. I know you guys saw the thumbnail, the title, and today is the first episode of my podcast. A lot of you guys are probably confused as to why my podcast is having an intro right now or a breakdown, but this is only for the first episode. This is not going to be a every episode thing, so we're not going to make this a every time thing or a consecutive thing, but I thought since this is the first episode and I'm kind of just dropping this out of the blue for some of you guys, it'd be best for me to at least explain what today's video is and why I'm making it, and just explain a couple things behind this video. Like I said, today is the first episode for my podcast. I have been wanting to make a podcast for years now. I just never had the balls or the drive to do it. I don't know why, because every time I would film, something would always go wrong, or I just felt like I can't let them see this, like it's not good enough. But I'm tired of beating myself like a dead horse. I'm just tired of it. I want this year to be the year where I try new things and I just put new things out there and see how it goes for me, because you never know, it could be a future blessing for me. I won't even know, and I'm probably blocking it. So I decided, F it, let's drop it, let's put it out there, because I'm being consistent on YouTube. I'm in my consistency era and I want to keep that going. I'm going to put this podcast out, because if I don't put this out now, it will never be out. So, like I said, F it, we're dropping it. You guys are seeing it today. Plus I did a poll this week on my YouTube channel in my community section, which, if you guys don't know, I'm always consistent on my community tab. I always leave like little cute things and let you guys know the loop and the things I'm going to be doing. So if you haven't been checking that out as a subscriber, girl, what are you doing? Check it out, because I'm pretty consistent on there as well. But like I said, I did a poll for this week and I asked you guys what you wanted to see for the video for this week. The poll was split 50-50. Well, some of you guys wanted to see the podcast, the first episode to my podcast, which, hello, we're doing it now. And then some of you guys wanted to see a story time about how my ex became my online stalker, because in my last video, the Shein haul, I pretty much bought a t-shirt saying my ex is my biggest fan, and I explained to you guys how my ex situationship was stalking me in a way. So a lot of you guys want to see that story time. So like I said, the poll was split 50-50, and I was just stuck in a pickle, and I was like, well, my girls want to see essentially both, so why not drop a double drop this week, or do a double upload for this week? So I'm going to drop this video, which is the episode to my first podcast, and then I'm also going to be dropping the stalker video as well for that story time for this week, so look out for that later on. Like I said, for right now, today's video, it's my first episode of my podcast. I'm just super excited for you guys to see it, and I'm just hoping you guys learn from what I'm trying to say, or you understand what I'm trying to say to you guys in the podcast episode, because otherwise I'll just look like a goofy sitting there talking for like an hour or so about nothing and just talking in circles. But I honestly hope you guys do take my advice. I hope you guys do understand what I'm trying to say, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening. And one more thing, if you guys want me to do like an audio version and start posting this like on like a platform like Spotify or something, I definitely can do that. That way my girlies can listen to it while they work out or while they're doing something. Let me know if you want it as a sound version, because I definitely can make that happen for you guys. But other than that, enjoy the first episode, guys.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the first episode of my podcast. Woo, yay, we finally made it. I've always wanted to do something like this, like in a podcast format. I've been trying to do this for years now, but every time I try to do it or I start getting into the process of it, nothing really goes well, and I'm not sure why. It's kind of annoying. And then when I do it and something does happen, I just kind of like freeze up and just like, I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't put this up. I can't do this. I can't do this. And I'm just being my own worst enemy. So I decided I'm going to stop being my own worst enemy and I'm just going to put it out there. And hopefully, if some of you guys do enjoy listening to me talk or listening to me chat about certain topics that I have experience in, because I've experienced a couple things in my life, unfortunately, yeah, I think now is the time for me to do that. Especially while I'm being consistent on YouTube, I definitely think the time is now, and I just need to stop blocking my own blessing, because maybe this could be a future blessing for me. I don't know. But I just want my viewers who are watching at home to feel a little comfortable. That way they can literally sit down, just watch me talk, and also just feel the vibes and just get into the atmosphere I want to create when I start putting out more of these podcast episodes in the future. So if you guys like the setup for me to film here, let me know. Or if you think I should do it on my pink couch, definitely let me know and I will try the pink couch next episode. But for now, I hope you guys enjoy the vibes. So for today's episode, we are going to be talking about friendship. I am going to be basically explaining to you what friendship is, what being a good friend is, looking for green flag friends, that's what I call them, or red flag friends you should avoid, and then ways to create a bigger circle and just, just grow more friends in the future. I really just wanted to talk about that today because I think a lot of people feel scared of the idea of I think a lot of people are scared of the idea of meeting new people. And I think a lot of my viewers might be, I don't know, potentially struggling with deciding what friends to keep or what friends to chop off. I know in the past when I was in high school, I had a lot of trouble with navigating which friends are good and which crowd is good for me to be around just for my morals and the person that I want to be. I definitely want to help you guys navigate that for yourself. I know I struggle with it, so I know if I was struggling with it at that time, there's definitely probably a few of you who are out there struggling with that as well. And I just want to be that support system here and just let you know that you are not alone. I've also struggled with this, even though I am an extrovert. It can be tough navigating what is a healthy friendship and just what isn't. So I think that with the experience that I had and the tips that I learned, I think I can also help you guys navigate through that by providing you tips, tricks, and a little bit of experience. And then my personal standpoint on friendship and what being a good friend is essentially. So with that being said, let's get into what being a good friend is and what is the definition of a friend. Sorry to my viewers who are watching me on camera do this, or watching the visual podcast as I would call it. I'm looking at my notes that way I can do as little as many cuts as possible because I'm trying to learn how to talk fluently without cutting as much. So if I look over, if I'm glancing, it's because I'm referring to my notes. Don't mind me, just get into the vibes. So, to me, friendship is the state of enduring affection, esteem, intimacy, and trust between two or more people. And what I mean by that is friendship is like the state of mind you have with someone when you form a bond or you form a connection with that other person or with other people in general. Like it could be a vast group of people. When you form that connection with them, it's a very intimate connection, it's a very personal connection, and it's almost like you're in a relationship with that other person, but they're not, obviously they're not your significant other, but it's basically the same thing. It's just that you and this person are learning each other, you're learning your icks, you're learning the things that make you happy, and you're doing things together that make you happy. And over time, creating those memories with that person creates a stronger bond. And to me, that's what friendship means. And to me, that's what the definition of friendship is. And now that I've broken down the definition of friendship, I just want to explain to you what I feel like being a friend means or what being in a friendship means to me. To me, being in a friendship means being loyal and being able to communicate no matter if we talk every day or even if we just don't talk every day, we talk every other month. Us being able to come back to each other and just communicate as if nothing happened, that to me, that seems like a strong friendship and what a friendship should look like or a healthy one. Because I don't talk to my best friends every day, but I know that they have my best interest and I know that if I were to reach out to them, they would respond and they would talk to me as if like, hey girl, like how you doing? Like we would literally just play catch up and it'll almost be like the vibes are still there even though we're not in person. Me communicating via the phone or just texting, I just know that they're going to respond. And no matter if I don't talk to you every day, us being able to still communicate as if our bond has never been broken or if we've never not talked, that to me seems like a healthy friendship. Also, to me, friendship means supporting each other through anything that could be painful or anything that can be hard to navigate alone, such as like a breakup, or like if you're going through depression, or even if you're just having a hard time learning how to adult, like how I am right now. I'm adulting. That could be hard for people my age or for people my demographic. That could be very hard, and I feel like you need a friend to lean on during that time. And I feel like you definitely need your friend's support and just someone there to confide your feelings to. And just having a healthy friend, or a friend that you can always communicate, or who will always support you no matter if they're in person or if they're from a distance showing you love, that could be something that's very securing. And to me, that's a healthy aspect of a friendship. um Overall, just to summarize it, it just means being a good friend, or being in a good healthy friendship, means that you can trust your friend will always be there for you. They'll be your number one support even when you feel like you have no one at the time. They will always be there for you, and they'll always be loyal to you no matter what the circumstances, or no matter what your friendship goes through. If you have, because sometimes friendships have their ups and downs, let's just be honest. So if you're having a up or a down in your friendship, that person's going to see it out with you and stick it out with you, and just be loyal to you and respect how you feel through that process. And no matter what your relationship is put through, or no matter what test is put through, 95% of the time, if you have a friend that you can communicate with, you can trust with, or a friend that always supports you and has your best interest at heart, they will be there for you and be loyal to you no matter the circumstance. And that to me is what being in a friendship means. And that also means what having a healthy friendship looks like. Now that we've talked about what the definition of being in a friendship is and what it means, I'm going to tell you guys some of the things you'll notice in a green flag friend. And what I mean by a green flag friend is a friend who just isn't toxic. You see nothing but positive signs in them. They align with your morals, they respect you. That is, to me, is a green flag friend. There's nothing that is telling you to leave the friendship, or there's nothing that's making you feel iffy about the friendship. So to start, I just feel like to be a good green flag friend, you have to always communicate how you feel. um that way you don't harbor any ill feelings towards your friend. You should never feel like you have to harbor any ill will towards your friend. You should always feel like you are able to communicate with them. And if you feel some way, you should be able to communicate yourself effectively to your friend without, disrespecting them, because you never want to disrespect your friend. They are your friend. You always want to respect people, period. So you should be able to communicate yourself effectively, and do it without disrespecting them, and most importantly, without disregarding your feelings, because your feelings are just as valid as theirs. So you just have to find the healthy medium of respecting them and their feelings, and also respecting, your feelings, because your feelings matter just as much. Like I said, you just have to know the healthy medium of between being honest and then just being flat out disrespectful. You should never want to disrespect your friends, so I feel like that should be an easy thing to judge. And trust me, you'll know when you're being disrespectful. You'll feel it in your heart, and your emotions that you're feeling at the time. You'll feel it. Just honestly, if you want to be a good green flag friend, respect your friend, and make sure your friend respects you, of course. If respect isn't given to both, then essentially your friendship is not going to last, because you don't respect each other. And that brings me to my next point. If you are friends, you have to have respect for your friend, whether it be for their feelings or with them as a person. You both have to respect each other. And if you do, your friendship's gonna flourish. If you don't, your friendship's just gonna be one sided. It's gonna be like one person having respect for one and the other not having respect. And that's just not a healthy relationship to be in at all. I'm speaking from experience. I used to be in a friend group in high school, and I felt like I literally had to watch my back at all times, because I could literally tell that I feel like the friends in that friend group, we didn't really have respect for each other the way that we should. Um, because everybody would either talk mess about each other, or like throw subs at each other, or just really, just really just be disrespectful to each other. And I don't feel like the friend group I was in at the time, we were the healthiest friend group. It was very toxic. I myself included was very toxic because when you surround yourself with toxic people, you then yourself become toxic. Or if you become toxic, I feel like your toxic waste tarnishes the next person's positivity and their blessings in a way. So if you surround yourself with toxic people, it's just not a good atmosphere to be in. And that was unfortunately something that I went through in high school. So that is why I'm telling you respect is a very important thing. And if you find a friend who just at least the bare minimum can give you respect and at the bare minimum respect your feelings, 95% of the time the problems you may have will just be easy to solve and easy to fix because you both have that mutual respect for each other. Another characteristic I feel like a green flag friend has is that they're very loyal. I also feel like a good trait to have in a green flag friend is that that friend will always support you. A good friend is, supporting your friend whenever they need you, whether that be helping them out and supporting them and celebrating their ventures or their growth or their successes, or just being there for them in their time of need. Support can go both ways. And I feel like to be a good green flag friend, you both have to support each other in the best way possible and the best way that your friend needs you support the best way that your friend needs you to support them at that time. And support is a huge deal in a friendship. If your friend feels like they're not being supported, then your friendship will become toxic essentially and it'll fail because they don't have that support that they need. They're coming to their friend looking for support and that person isn't being there for them. So, like I said, if you want to find a green flag friend, find a friend who will always be there to support you and won't be jealous of your success or your growth or anything that can be a blessing to you. If you find a friend who's like, go you, like, yay, like, you did that, girl, you worked hard for it, I'm so happy for you, that is a friend that you want to keep. That is a green flag friend. If you notice your friend doesn't really support you, doesn't really acknowledge your successes or doesn't really just be there for you in your time of need, then I definitely think you should cut that friend off because at that point you're going to start harboring some ill will to them and then your friendship becomes toxic and then it 95% of the time will fail. And I put that on my heart, it will fail because you feel ill will towards your friend and you shouldn't feel that way. You should be able to communicate how you feel. If you can't communicate that, then it's going to fail. And the last thing, the most important thing that I wrote down is trust. If you can't trust your friend, then there's no friendship. So for a green flag friend, you're looking for someone who you can trust no matter what. And if you can't trust them, you may as well not be friends. You can't have any relationship in life without trust because with no trust, there's no foundation. And trust is a key foundation to a healthy friendship. And trust is an aspect that you need to have in that specific friend to flourish and grow and to stay strong as friends. Like I said, you can't build a house without a foundation. With no foundation, everything will just crumble right in front of you and right along with it. Whether that be trusting if they'll be there, or trusting that they have your best interest at heart, or trusting that they won't judge you for your decisions and they'll guide you to make the right decisions. Um, Trust is a very, very, very important key factor, and that is something that you want to look in. Let me rephrase that. That's a trait that you want to look for in your friend and in your friendship because it's a powerful start and a powerful way to keep your friendship. And then what comes with finding green flag friends is you have to weed out the red flag friends and notice those red flags so you can have those healthy relationships and have those healthy friendships. And I'm going to give you some advice on how to navigate through those red flag friends and just let you know friends that you should not have, that you should, pretty much run away from, snip, snip, and get rid of them because they don't have your best interest at heart and they aren't someone that aligns with your spirit and your morals. And I feel like that's an important aspect of a friendship. If they don't align with your morals and your spirit, you definitely need to cut them off. And that's a red flag to you. So therefore, they're a red flag friend. To start, a red flag friend won't have your best interest at heart, like I just said. If you feel you can't trust your friend to have your best intentions with you, you may as well just end the friendship. They're not your friend, and that is your conscience trying to tell you that hey, something's wrong. They're not a good friend. Cut them off. They're hurting your peace. They're hurting your positivity. They're blocking your blessings. Get rid of them. Listen to your conscience and listen to your heart, most importantly. 95% of the time, they are right. If you have a bad feeling that your friend does not have your best interests, you definitely don't want to keep them in your circle. Another sign of a red flag friend is if you feel like your friend just isn't loyal to you. If you sense absolutely no loyalty, girl, run away immediately, because this friend will most likely betray you in some way and break your heart, honestly. And I feel like a big thing is to protect your peace. You always want to protect your feelings and you want to protect your peace, most importantly. So you need to get rid of those who don't align with your morals and people who just don't align with your definition of loyalty. If you feel hurt by something your friend has done because they just weren't loyal to you in a way, cut them off, because they will betray you and they probably will disappoint you every time because you're letting them continuously disrespect you. And to me, that's like not aligning with the moral that you have set or the standards you have set for loyalty. So definitely want to cut that friend out. That is definitely a red flag friend. Another key sign of a red flag friend is that that friend will not respect you or your feelings. They'll most likely just try to invalidate your feelings or ignore how you feel. And if they're your friend, they should not be ignoring how you feel, because we're humans and feelings are a big aspect of how we navigate our daily life. We go do things based upon how we feel. You know, you do things based on how you feel. If I feel like I'm hungry, I'm gonna go downstairs and eat because I'm hungry. That was my feeling. I was feeling hungry, so I went to go eat. So like I said, we navigate on feelings. So if your friends are not validating how you feel, that's a huge red flag and that's a problem. Most friends who invalidate how you feel aren't a real friend, because to me, a real friend is someone who will acknowledge how you feel. Like if I'm feeling sad or if I'm feeling upset about something, that friend's not going to sit there and try to make you feel upset or ignore how you're feeling. They will sit there and pick your brain and sit there and be like, why are you feeling this way? How can I help you? What's the best way I could be there for you? I don't like seeing you like this. Like, a good friend will never want to see you feeling any ill way. So if they're invalidating how you feel and they're not addressing it or trying to help you fix that, then that is a huge, 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 huge issue. And to me, that is a red flag. Cut them off. Red flag, ding, 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 ding. That is a friend you don't want to have. And there's so many more signs of a red flag friend that I can mention, but I don't want to sit here and just keep beating a dead horse. I feel like you guys are smart enough to know what a red flag friend is. And just from the examples that I've given you, you will find people who are not a good friend. Like I said, go with your conscience, go with your heart, and go with your morals and your standards. If they aren't aligning with your moral standards, your feelings, or anything like that, you definitely want to let them go and protect your peace. Why sit there and put yourself through something that's just hurting you when you can be sitting there flourishing with someone who's willing to treat you right and just be, a good person to you? And like I said, you don't want a red flag friend in your life, because having red flag friends are never fun to have, and it's honestly, to me, emotionally draining, and it's heartbreaking. Like, it's heart-wrenching in a way. It's like you're going through a breakup with someone who you've built like kind of like a bond with, but you're like trauma bonding with them, and at that point it's not healthy, it's toxic, and that's when it's time to pack up and go. The next thing that I want to talk about, which I feel is important for friendships or trying to make friendships, because some of you guys may not feel like you're capable of making a good friendship or capable of growing more friends or having your circle become bigger. I know a lot of people would like to hear that, hey, like you should keep a small circle. A small circle is better. and etc etc. And yeah, a small circle is fine. If you have a small circle of friends, I think that's pretty cool. But I'm the type of person, I'm a social butterfly, and I like to grow my friends and I like to have more friends so I can do more things with everybody and just make things more like bigger and have more people do things with me. Like every year I like to go on an Airbnb trip, right? And it started off small. It started off just four of us, and then it's grown to six of us, and now it's grown to seven of us. So we've added a new member every year, and I like that. I like that I can bring new people in and then just have them around my friends and just make my friends mingle and just get to know each other. So that way, like, I can hang out with all my friends at the same time. I love that feeling. So I basically just want to teach you guys how to grow your circle of friends and just how to grow friends because, like I said, I know some people out there are very shy. They don't really know how to or feel like they're capable of growing friends. And I feel like everybody's capable. It's just, you just have to be willing to try and just be willing to put your best foot out there. So I definitely just want to give you guys a little bit of advice about that. To start growing your circle of friends or just growing more friends, you have to first maintain your existing connections before you attempt to make any new friends or bring any new friends into that circle. It's very important to keep up the friendship you have already. And over time, you can slowly invite your previous friends to gatherings with your new friends to meet them and allow them to, form a connection and form a bond. And then, like, we just become like a larger, tight knit group. But you have to get over your nerves to do that. I know some people are very nervous when they have this certain type of friend and then they have this certain type of friend meeting each other because you just don't know how people can conflict and you just don't know how people will mesh when they're put together in a certain crowd, which is understandable because people are different. People have different personalities, different beliefs, different morals, different standards. So that definitely can conflict from time to time. Not a problem. Um, but I feel like in order to grow your circle or grow your friends or grow your friend group, you have to get over that nervousness about that and just be willing to let your friends go out there and just talk to each other and form that connection. You have to allow them to talk. You have to allow them to communicate. You have to allow them to navigate their own relationship with that person for them to allow that person, to become their friend and then just ultimately grow your circle from your pre-existing maintained connections. So yeah, like I said, don't be shy and don't be nervous. Just take your time and let them get to know each other and let everybody get to know each other. And over time, eventually it'll be like you knew each other for years essentially. Like when I met when I met Mel on the trip at the Airbnb, I didn't feel weird that I was meeting somebody new. I felt like I was meeting somebody who was always been my friend because they were friends with my friend. So if they're friends with my friend and I know me and my friend mesh pretty well, then I have no worries with getting to know a new person. And Mel, like I said, you were a very nice person to meet. If you're watching this, love you, girl. But you just have to be willing to form a new connection with someone. And I know a lot of you guys aren't social butterflies or extroverts like myself, but you definitely have to get over that nervousness factor and you have to be willing to communicate to make those friendships or to form those friendships. The next advice I would give is just to go outside and touch some grass. Like sometimes I meet new people at places I've never been to before and people are so nice. Like you just have to be willing to allow people to speak to you and allow people to talk to you and just be open to a conversation with people because you just never know who you're going to meet. You might be meeting your best friend in the future. You might be meeting your future godmom for your child. You just never know who you're going to meet. So you have to be open to meeting new people. You have to be open to form new connections. And if you are going to be closed off and if you're not going to be open, then you're obviously not going to grow more friends and you're not going to be able to grow new connections or start new connections with new people. And even if you don't want to go outside, you can even meet people online. I know tons of people who've met people online and they form long lasting connections and friendships with people that they never knew they were going to meet because either they lived in a different state or they just weren't online at the time. Like, you just never know who you're going to meet out there. So you just have to be open to forming new connections. You have to communicate and you also have to just try new things. There's so many new ways to make friends. It's become 10 times easier, especially with technology advancing and stuff. So don't be afraid to make new friends. I know I'm an extrovert giving you that advice, but to my introverts, just don't be afraid. Step outside your comfort zone and just try these options or these approaches to making new friends, because this might be an easier way for you to make a new friend. Or if you feel like you don't have enough friends, this might be a way for you to start. And I promise these tricks work well. They worked well for me in the past. I'm speaking from experience. So definitely just be open to starting and trying these options. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of my podcast. I hope you enjoyed the topics that we talked about today. I think making friends is an important aspect in life. And if I can help someone make a new friend or learn how to navigate through friends and learn what a good friend is and a bad friend is, then I want to help, because I felt like at the time in my past life, I didn't know how to do that. So, and I didn't have anybody to help me do that. So, I definitely just want to extend that olive branch to you guys and just help you guys navigate that as well. I also hope you guys enjoyed the ambiance in my room. I tried to create like a cool, copacetic, very peaceful serenity type vibe. That's the vibe I'm going for. But if you guys think I should change my background or film on my pink couch, let me know. Comment it down below on the video podcast portion and the audio podcast portion, because I think I'm going to be uploading this as an audio as well. Fingers crossed. If I do, yay. If I don't, I'm sorry I didn't, but I will start. Yeah, that's pretty much all for today. I will see you guys in the next podcast episode. I love you guys so much. Bye.